talk to me about the Vikings in Week 5. That's kind of where I'm at. And you talk about all these waiver wire additions. Thielen's getting traded. I don't want to jump the gun here, but the Packers may be making a splash of their own, and it might happen today.
There's
it might
rumbling.
happen tomorrow. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but in my mind, it's happening, and it's happening within the next hour.
With what you're talking about, we will feel the beat today. We will go to Dallas, and we will go to Green Bay.
Smart.
We'll talk to Jane Slater and Schneidman from The Athletic up there in Green Bay. Yeah, everybody's saying that the Green Bay Packers are going to trade for Micah Parsons.
They are saying that.
And they're going to pay him
$45 million a year, baby.
$45 million a year.
Already done. Yep.
That would be an absurd move to just think about and hypothesize about a few years ago. But now, Green Bay Packers take Matthew Golden in the first round, wide receiver. Place erupts.
Yeah.
All reports out of camp is he's the guy.
Yeah.
If they were to trade for Micah Parsons to Green Bay, Wisconsin, from Dallas, Texas, to that team, immediate game record for you guys.
Yes.
Small town, he'd be beloved. Now, Happy Valley, went to Penn State, small town feel as well. So I'm not saying that he needs to be in a big city or anything like that, but that would be a wild life event for Micah Parsons to go from Dallas and the Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. Two very storied tradition teams, obviously. A lot of history, a lot of greatness, but that would be an insane move to think about. I'm sure Packers fans even like saying, yeah, Packers are going to trade for a guy that's going to be the highest paid guy in the history of defensive football and give some things up that are very important to the future. That's not really a Packers thing, is it? Why does it feel like most Green Bay Packers fans think this is going to happen? We got people tracking fake planes.
Oh, yeah.
There's a plane to Dallas, Green Bay. How many people flying Dallas, Green Bay?
No one.
Green Bay's flying to Dallas? It's August 27th.
I mean, I guess this could be Big Mike, going back and forth, from his Dallas house to the bar.
Getting tracked everywhere. This is what's happening on the internet. Like the thoughts of this happening feels real to people.
Yeah, I mean, would this be out of character and just absolutely crazy? Without a doubt. They've had a couple splash trades they've made in the past, but Mark Murphy's not there anymore. We got a new, team president, Ed Policy, so maybe he wants to make a little bit of a splash.
Oh, there's a new policy around
Exactly,
here.
And we're looking for stars, not just ones on the side of the helmet. But he's legitimately he's going to be a Hall of Famer probably. If his career, Jerry wasn't ready to listen to it, but it hasn't stopped.
Wasn't ready to listen to it. I like that. That's the way it was worded.
Yeah,
Not that he didn't. Like Jerry didn't listen to it. He's like, well, he wasn't ready yet to listen to it. Now we're a little bit further down the road. Now, Jerry has said that any talks of trade are BS, I believe, on the Stephen A. Smith show.
Yes.
Whenever he talked to him. So you got to take that with a grain of salt in the entire conversation. And then Shoddy, I believe, came out and said he had conversations with him and they weren't good. It's like, okay, what do all these things mean? We'll talk directly to some people with boots on the ground and see if we can get a little bit more realistic perspective on Micah Parsons getting traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers and getting paid $45 million a year in doing so. That would be insane.
Let's get nutty. Let's get wild.
Why not?
That Matthew Golden pop.
Yeah.
At the draft.
All time.
Multiply that by 100 if they trade for Micah Parsons.
An entire city might just go to
implode on itself. We might not even be able to play football next year.
Let's go to one half of the hammer. Don. Cowboys AP tone. Obviously, we're all hammering Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Any day of the week.
It's a Dr. Pepper, baby. I mean, that is. Listen to that a few times, by the way, boys. When I was gone.
As you should.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like just turned it on while I was showering.
Yeah.
Great song.
Created a song, couple of them, a lot of them. It's a whole new thing. It is wild to be alive right now. Just know that we got a potential Dr. Pepper banger sitting
Hell yeah.
back pocket right now. Couple breaking news things here out of the NFL. Kyle Hamilton has signed an $82 million guaranteed deal with the Baltimore Ravens, $100.4 million in total. Congratulations to him. He's a beast.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, I believe, Coach Chuck Pagano was given a press conference about Kyle Hamilton and his greatness. And he mentioned about how, it's very reminiscent of a guy that used to play here named Ed Reed. And everybody knows who Ed Reed is because Ed Reed is one of the greatest football players to ever exist. He's one of the most electrifying humans to ever exist. And he has some of the biggest plays in the history of football. But everybody talks about him just being an absolute nightmare on the field because he seemingly knew everything that was going to happen. And when he got there, he was going to thump. Oh, yeah, he also blocked like 50 kicks. He also has a couple kick returns, and he just seemed to be smarter than everybody. And Chuck Pagano just pointed out, like, everybody thinks that that's a natural thing. It's like, no, the amount of work you got to put in, preparation, the amount of film you got to do to get to that point is what separates these people. And he said Kyle Hamilton, same guy. The amount of preparation that he puts in, everything like that is very reminiscent to Hall of Famers that have come before him. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Schneidman. What up, man?
How you guys doing?
I like the football coming out of your head.
Yeah.
Right there. It looks like a football was thrown into his head.
Yeah.
And his head caught it.
Yep.
And then now he's just kind of going about it. I like that. Look like you're a football head, dude.
Always thinking about ball.
Always ball.
Ball
Always on the mind.
Yeah.
Literally. Yep. Amen. Great to be back.
Come on, yeah.
Come on.
That's classic.
All right, Schneidman, sorry. We will get back to this. We just talked to Jane about Micah. Ty came on the show earlier. Send him 3 ones. Give him $45 million a year. Let's get Micah to Green Bay, Wisconsin. How is that conversation there? Is it a reality? Like, what are the thoughts on that becoming a thing for the people that actually know what's going on over there, like yourself?
Yeah, I think right now, to my knowledge, Jerry's not even listening to trade offers, so I'm not sure that an actual trade offer can be made unless he picks up the phone. So the Packers may have, an outline of what they would offer, but if Jerry Jones isn't listening to legitimate trade offers, then I'm not sure that one is technically on the table. It's semantics, but if he does entertain it, from what I've heard, the Packers will be interested and will be in the mix, which, look, it's information, but it's not a surprise. If you think back to 2018, and Ty knows this, the Packers aren't, normally in the mix on these big name trades, and you don't really always see them get in the mix around the trade deadline, but the Packers finished second place to the Bears for Khalil Mack in 2018, and they were barely outbid. Brian Gutekunst, a couple times in his career, that being, the biggest instance, has been willing to offer a first-round pick for a veteran player. In some instances, it just hasn't panned out, and other teams have outbid them. So this is kind of an eerily similar situation where it's right before the season, as the Khalil Mack trade was. It's for a edge rusher in the prime of his career, and it would really take the Packers to the next level. What would it take if this were to become a reality? It would be multiple first-round picks at least, and I think a player like a wide receiver. I'm not sure they would have to give up any edge rushers, but it might be a player like a Romeo Doubs or a Dontavian Wicks, plus a couple first-round picks and maybe more draft capital later in the draft.
And if you have a good one, I heard a poster fell, too. There used to be another poster up there.
Yeah, actually, so that's why my background is a little spare, because in that blank spot right there, I had a framed
Other side. There it is.
Oh, right there. Yep. A framed New York Times sports front page of when I wrote a story on the draft coming to Green Bay, and I had that framed, and it just fell like 5 seconds before I came up.
The command strip is still there.
Did it break?
Yeah, I know.
You need to put at least more than one strip.
It does kind of look like it broke.
I know.
There
were 2 strips on it. One of them went down. Yeah.
The frame broke. You own the house, Schneids. Put some nails in,
maybe,
man.
Maybe.
I know.
Grow up, man.
It's a New York Times cover, bro.
Yeah.
Do you sell your front yard for parking spaces on game day?
Yeah. And how much
per
spot?
I live about 10, 12 minutes away from the stadium, so it's too far away.
So only $20 a spot.
Yeah.
Another policy about Ed Policy. So Ed's dad is Carmen Policy, who was the CEO for the 49ers when they were winning those Super Bowls in the 80s, 90s, whenever it was. So Ed Policy's dad was the one who traded Joe Montana to the Chiefs. And so that was like a very unpopular decision out in Northern California around that time. And so Ed has said the biggest thing he learned from his dad were how to make those tough decisions and live with them, basically. So he might be, that just goes in line with what I was saying earlier, he might be faced with a very, very tough decision about a head coach and GM who have been successful, but with all due respect to the 31 other teams, this is Green Bay, Wisconsin. They expect more than just, playoff appearances here.
Not just those two. Also, there's a guy in Dallas that ain't happy that you're gonna have to take a big swing if you go and get him. Mm-hmm. You think Carmen's boy?
It sounds like he's fully prepared to do whatever he has to.
You think Carmen's boy is going to take a swing down there on Dallas?
I think he is.
Calm was the man.
Calm, man.
Didn't Joe Montana say, I want to go contract for contract here?
Yes, for Steve Young.
Yeah,
practice.
Yeah, let's just put our contracts up and just see what happens. And then Carmen Policy was like, how about this? You're gone.
Yeah. Trade you to Kansas City.
It's quite a play. Carmen's a dog. Hey, Carmen, thanks for what you did for football.
Wow. Baby Carmen. You got some sweet Lou in him.
Now, Ed, good luck. but we appreciate the fact that you were born in this game.
Yeah.
You know, and we're excited to see what you do. A lot of intrigue for the Green Bay Packers on stuff that isn't just on the field, which is abnormal for the Packers, but maybe this is policy on what the Packers are now.
I think so. I'm all in. It's happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, from The Athletic and 97.3 The Game, a man who had a New York Times cover. You can't see it,
No.
but it's there.
Yeah, starting not to believe
What
it.
does that mean?
Yes, we did.
Hardworking people who know how to put a
Put a nail
nail through
in
some
the-
drywall. Yeah.
Bingo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Schneidman.
Nice.
It's on me. I didn't promote the Matt Schneidman show, which is on the flag behind. You can buy that at Schneidy stuff.
Well, that's on him. He should put it in his Twitter bio. So,
Yeah, we go right from the Twitter bio, directly to Twitter bio. What do we need to know about you?
yeah, Jade Slater, the whole reason I put in golf aficionado was because
Twitter bio.
It was in,
I was
in
thinking,
Twitter
where are you
bio
getting
in Wikipedia. Wikipedia is a
Twitter bio.
loves golf.
That is the game. These AI are about to have all the answers for us whenever we need it. Absolute stud, Stanford Steve. Steve, we're talking about the seat being hot in Columbus. Do you know if they hang a banner? And what are your thoughts on having to defend a national championship with a brand new quarterback, but a bunch of studs everywhere for Ohio State this weekend?
I'm not sure about the banner stuff. I feel like Ohio State has the highest expectations every year, and they're not into that banner thing. They'll just find you on. They'll find you online. We know that. But when you're looking at Ohio State, Pat, I think this is the great thing about the sport. Ohio State and Texas, right? They don't rebuild; they just reload. And in college football, you get to learn who the next names are, right? We heard all about Jeremiah Smith going into last year. Boy, did he show out. Now he's the best player in the sport. But you still have questions to answer, and this game is really interesting because both teams have a lot of the same deals to fill. Look at Texas with the defensive line they've put in the pros. Ohio State loses that whole defensive line. They both have to replace those guys. Quarterbacks, Arch, I read 224 snaps last year. Only 6 on the road or in a neutral site. So he's got a lot of proving to do. Julian Sayin got plenty of toys to play with, but we got a new O-line coach at Ohio State. We have one, sustained starter, 4 guys up front, got a great tight end, and Max Clare that should help him, with the toys on the outside. So when I look at Ohio State, we know what the expectation is going to be, and I really commend them for playing this game. All 6 teams that are playing these top 10 matchups, because you have to find out what you got. With practice, AJ could talk about this. This. There's no more two-a-days. Like, it's limited, pads on pads. And, some guys rise up on game day, some guys don't. And you only know when you get to the game day situation. And that's why I think, and then they played, Texas' last game last year. You take away the screen pass and the Sawyer player, it's 14-14. So I think it's going to be a feeling-out process. Matt Patricia's got a lot to prove as a defensive coordinator. Tons of questions to get answered for both these teams in such a high-stakes match.
I saw Nick Saban speaking to the team about your breaking point. I think he still has the office in the building. Obviously, there's a lot of guys that still have the Alabama pipeline respect in the building. So I think they have somehow passed the baton well when it comes to recruiting and keeping the allure of everything. Will they be able to win? He has to go to the playoffs and win a game, right? That's what Kalen DeBoer has to do?
Yeah, I believe so. And when you look at that job, Pat, what he had to do, what he stepped into, Saban retires. Every program in the country's calling for those players to leave. Like, if there's ever a time you're going to get Alabama players. So for DeBoer to go in there, find a balance in the locker room, weed through, all right, this is who we want here moving forward. This isn't who we want. If you want to go pro, go ahead. I thought it was an unbelievable job what DeBoer did. I know everybody has expectations of Bama in the playoff, but then you factor that in, us being there for the Georgia game, which is an all-time game, and then they go to Vanderbilt and lose. We haven't seen that in the century. Alabama.
Pavia's a different animal. This is not the same Vandy, but you're 100% right, though. Like, the Alabama fans didn't view it that way.
No, they can't process that. But
we don't lose to Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's walking down Broadway.
Yeah.
With a field goal because of us. Alabama doesn't want to hear that they got better because of the transfer portal. It's Vanderbilt. They did not get better. They are a real team. Pavia said he wants a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, they almost beat Texas at home last year, too. It was very, very close.
And Missouri on the road.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to tell the old heads. I think.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like, hey, Vandy's a team. And Boom. We need you out of there. Can't wait to watch West Virginia. I think they got a hard edge. And I'll tell you what, he keeps doing stuff like this, we're going to start getting all the recruits and players we need. If you're tough and want to learn from a tough samurai, Coach Rod's the guy. Hard edge is your home. Welcome to West Virginia. That's what we need going forward. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, Steve, week 0. Are your Cardinals going to win a game this year?
Yeah.
It didn't look great. Because if you're not going to beat Hawaii, then I don't know on that schedule how many more wins there are.
Whoa.
What's Andrew? So Andrew's got to flip that entire place? Like how Andrew Luck, general manager?
It's in the process of it. You know, I mean, that's like you talked about trying to find out, you know, who's where and what. Like in June, I'm looking at her like, oh yeah, they got this commit. I'm like, recruiting now is in June, so everything's moving in the right direction. The problem is the lack of players on the roster right now. But if there's one person you ever want in charge of it, you know this, it's Andrew.
Yeah,
and his alma mater. But how much he cares and how smart he is, I'm in.
He does
It's going to be maybe a little bit of a longer road than expected.
I think Andrew Luck has a huge brain. I think he loves football. I think he cares about Stanford. I think a lot of smart schools now, all of a sudden, you know, Notre Dame, Michigan, these schools are big-brained folks. They got a lot of money. And all their alumni are like, we want to win football. Stanford, they got a rowing team.
Yep.
They got
math,
swimming. They got they got Olympics. They got the Olympics. Hey, we're trying to show up at the Olympics. I'm pulling for them. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
It is
campus,
gorgeous.
Football facility. It's awesome.
Everything about it is beautiful. I mean, you feel smarter as you're walking around.
Yeah.
Not his brain, though. It's his heart that might be in the wrong place because, I mean, Frank Reich.
All right.
He's
I love Frank Reich.
Steve, I didn't like what he just did right there.
I love Frank Reich.
I know what he's trying to do.
Yeah, he's trying to take a shot at him saying
Look,
he's another guy.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I love Frank Reich, but he should have hired the other guy. What's
Stanford Steve being the head coach at Stanford would have been awesome. Something to think about. Now, last question here as we head in to this college football season. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Stanford Steve, we just covered 2 teams. Heisman's not coming from West Virginia and Stanford, but I feel
we don't know.
That's a good point.
We don't know for sure.
Mozzarella.
I think we
do. You don't know about mozzarella.
I don't know. How many? I won't even go there, actually.